Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Aditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May the Divine Being look over us lovingly as a mother and father. May the Divine Being support and nourish us as a mother and father. May we have the strength and skill to study together the art of spirituality. May no misunderstandings arise amongst us. Om, peace, 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 and thy blessed beneficence be unto us and to all beloved beings everywhere. Hari Om Tat Sat. Well, good evening, everyone, and namaste. Welcome to our Wednesday evening reading and discussion of Bhagavad Gita. We're well along in the book. Swayam Prabha is our beloved reader, and she will tell us where we are. But before we do that, is there anything left over from our previous sessions that is a matter of concern or question, or anything you'd like to comment on that we've read or said in our reading and discussion of the Gita so far? Anything at all? All right, dears. Well, Swayam Didi, go ahead, tell us where we are, what we're up to, and we'll proceed.
Namaste to everybody, Brother Shankara. We are going to start chapter 10, Divine Glory. Shri Krishna, once more, warrior, hear this highest word of my wisdom. Wishing your welfare, to you I teach it, since your heart delights in the telling. How shall the mighty seers or the devas know my beginning? I am the origin, I, the sustainer of seers and devas. Who knows me birthless, never beginning, Lord of the worlds? He alone among mortals is stainless of sin, unvexed by delusion. I'm going to read that again. Who knows me birthless, never beginning, Lord of the worlds, he alone among mortals is stainless of sin, unvexed by delusion. All
In other words, free of karma. In other words, stainless of sin and unvexed by delusion is awakened and free from karma. That's what he's saying.
Okay. Shall I continue?
Please.
Okay. All that makes man in his many natures, knowledge and power of understanding, unclouded by error, truth, forbearance, calm of spirit, control of senses, happiness, sorrow, birth, and destruction. What fears? What is fearless? What harms no creature? The mind unshaken, the heart contented, the will austere, the hand of the giver, fame and honor, and infamy also. It is by me only that these are allotted. Shall I read that again? It's a
Oh,
pretty
please.
powerful.
And let's pay close attention to Sri Krishna once again saying, I alone am the doer. I have my instruments, the gunas, and they are the operating principles for um, compounding the reality we experience. But he is the doer of all. So please do read that again.
All that makes man in his many natures, knowledge and power of understanding, unclouded by error, truth, forbearance, calm of spirit, control of senses, happiness, sorrow, birth and destruction, what fears, what is fearless, what harms no creature, the mind unshaken, the heart contented, the will austere, the hand of the giver, fame and honor, and infamy also. It is by me only that these are allotted. Forth from my thought came the seven sages, the ancient four, and at last the Manus. Thus I gave birth to the first begetters of all earth's children. Who truly knows me in manifold being, everywhere present and all prevailing, dwells in my yoga, that shall not be shaken. Of this be certain. I am where all things began, the issuing forth of the creatures, known to the wise in their love when they worship with hearts overflowing. Mind and sense are absorbed. I alone am the theme of their discourse. Thus, delighting each other, they live in bliss and contentment. Always aware of their Lord are they, and ever devoted. Therefore, the strength of their thought is illumined and guided toward me. There, in the ignorant heart where I dwell, by the grace of my mercy, I am knowledge, that brilliant lamp dispelling its darkness. So that's the end of Sri Krishna's. Um,
Okay. I'd like to pause there and
mhm.
ask if there's anything at all that anyone would like to comment on, or any concern or clarification about anything that has been read or said so far in this chapter on divine glory. Anything at all from anyone? All right. Just a reminder, I ask for these comments, clarifications, and so on, because it's so very important that we not go forward if we're the least bit uncertain about, Sri Krishna says in this, in part of this discourse, he says, of this be certain. Are we certain? If we're not certain, then what is the nature of our uncertainty? Is there anything at all that needs to be brought up in that context? All right, dears, let's hear what Arjuna has to say in reply to what Krishna has said.
Arjuna, you are Brahman, the highest abode, the utterly holy. All the sages proclaim you eternal, Lord of the Devas. Saintly Narada knew you the birthless, the everywhere present. Devala echoed your praise, Asita too, and Vyasa. And the footnote there says all these, the names mentioned are ancient sages.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I also have heard, for to me, your lips have confirmed it. Krishna, this is the truth that you tell. My heart bids me believe you. God of gods, Lord of the world, life's source. O King of all creatures, how shall Deva or Titan know all the extent of your glory? What is Titan here, Brother Shankara? How shall Deva or Titan know all the extent of your glory?
If there's not a footnote, I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know what Titan means in this context.
Hmm.
I think of Titan as something out of the Greeks, but I don't recognize that as a Sanskrit word referring to someone that I know.
It's in Bhagavad Gita, Stephen Mitchell's Bhagavad Gita, it says demons.
Oh, Titan, a demon.
Titanic behavior like demons.
I see.
Yes, good ones and bad ones, like gods and the demons. That's
very good.
Mitchell has put it in his book, Stephen Mitchell.
Very good. Well, thank you for the clarification.
Sure.
Yes, thank you, Emma. That does make sense.
So read those words again.
Mm-hmm. How shall Deva or Titan know all the extent of your glory? You alone know what you are by the light of your innermost nature. Therefore, teach me now and hold back no word in the telling. All the sum of your shapes by which the three worlds are pervaded. Tell me how you will make yourself known to my meditation. Show me beneath what form and disguise I must learn to behold you. Number them all, your heavenly powers, your manifestations. Speak.
I think you slightly mispronounced the word beneath. Can you go back and read that? Beneath, and under beneath what? So I think that was not quite understood.
Okay. Show me show me beneath. Is that, am I pronouncing correctly, or is it
Beneath.
beneath? Show me
beneath.
Show me beneath what form and disguise I must learn to behold you. Is that clearer, Brother Shankara?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, but when the word beneath is mispronounced, the sentence doesn't make sense.
Okay. I'll repeat it one more time. Show me beneath what form and disguise I must learn to behold you. Number them all, your heavenly powers, your manifestations. Speak, for each word is immortal nectar. I never grow weary. Sri Krishna. O Arjuna, I will indeed make known to you my divine manifestations, but I shall name the chief of these only. For of the lesser variations in all their detail, there is no end. I am the Atman that dwells in the heart of every mortal creature. I am the beginning, the lifespan, and the end of all. I am Vishnu. I am the radiant sun among the light givers. I am Marichi, the wind god. Among the stars of the night, I am moon. I am the Samaveda. I am Indra, king of heaven. Of sense organs, I am the mind. I am consciousness in the living. I am Shiva. I am the Lord of all riches. I am the spirit of fire. I am Meru among the mountain peaks. Know me as Brihaspati, leader of the high priests, and Skanda, the warrior chief. I am the ocean among the waters. I am Brigu, the great seer. Among words, I am the sacred syllable Om. I am the vow of Japam. There's a footnote saying Japam, the practice of repeating a mantram, name of God. And then it refers to chapter 9, page 100. I
Okay.
am Himalaya among the things that cannot be moved. I am the holy fig tree. I am Narada, the godly sage. Chitraratha, the celestial musician, and Kapila among the perfected souls. Among horse.
Just pause a moment.
Mhm.
Kapila is known to us as the sage who spelled out and who conceived of and spelled out and elaborated for us the Sankhya philosophy. This is the cosmology in which the Gita is embedded, this Sankhya philosophy. And so Kapila is, and I don't mean that he's extraordinarily important in terms of these beings that are being listed, but it is interesting that he is known to us and that Krishna says, I am Kapila. So if you could just read that sentence again, please, dear. We're not hearing you.
You are muted.
Sorry, I forgot to unmute. I am the holy fig tree. I am Narada, the godly sage. Chitraratha, the celestial musician. And Kapila among the perfected souls. Among horses, you may know me as Ucheshwara, Ucheshrava, who was brought forth from the sea of nectar. I am Airatwa among royal elephants. I am king among men. Of weapons, I am God's thunderbolt. I am Kamadhenu, the heavenly cow. I am the love god. begetter of children. I am Vasuki, god of snakes. I am Ananta, the holy serpent. Of water beings, I am Varuna, Aryaman among the fathers. I am death, who distributes the fruit of all action. I am Prahalada, the giant. Among those who measure, I am time. I am the lion among beasts, Vishnu's eagle among the birds. Among purifiers, I am the wind. I am Rama among the warriors, the shark among fish, Ganges among the rivers. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end in creation. I am the knowledgeable of things spiritual. I am the logic of those who debate. In the alphabet, I am A. Among compounds, the copulative. I am time without end. I am the sustainer. My face is everywhere. I am death that snatches all. I also am the source of all that shall be born. I am glory, prosperity, beautiful speech, memory, intelligence, steadfastness, and forgiveness. I am the great Sama of the Vedic hymns and the Gayatri among poetic meters. Of the months, I am Margashirsha. And the footnote says Margashirsha, a month of the Hindu year, including parts of November and December. Of seasons, the time of flowers. I am the dice play of the cunning. I am the strength of the strong. I am triumph and perseverance. I am the purity of the good. I am Krishna among the Rishinis, Arjuna among the Pandavas, Vyasa among the sages, Ushanas among the illumined poets. I am the scepter and the mystery of those who rule, the policy of those who seek to conquer. I am the silence of things secret. I am the knowledge of the knower. O Arjuna, I am the divine seed of all lives. In this world, nothing animate or inanimate exists without me. There is no limit to my divine manifestations, nor can they be numbered, O foe consumer. What I have described to you are only a few of my countless forms. Whatever in this world is powerful, beautiful, or glorious, that you may know to have come forth from a fraction of my power and glory. I'm going to read that again. Whatever in this world is powerful, beautiful, or glorious, that you may know to have come forth from a fraction of my power and glory. But what need have you, Arjuna, to know this huge variety? Know only that I exist and that one atom of myself sustains the universe. That's the end of this chapter. But my
One
goodness,
atom of myself sustains the universe. This is an attempt to gesture at the infinite, the eternal, the changeless. One atom of my being sustains the universe. So having heard all that, is there anything that anyone would like to add from your own wisdom or experience? Or anything?
I have a question.
Yes, Robert.
What is the purpose of them stating all of those things? I mean, it sounded like Donald Trump to me. But
Well,
it seems that it would have been sufficient to say that I am the one that is the ruler of all things.
well, all I can say, Robert, is that this is a very old tradition in Indian scripture, holy scriptures. These long lists, and all I've been able to discern is that they are an attempt to convince the left mind that the divine is all that it is the doer, the divine is the doer, and that there is absolutely nothing left out. As it's said in the Chandi hymn, O Devi.
Right, what you just said would cover it. Nothing is left out.
Well, Robert, that might convince your mind, but it wouldn't necessarily convince everyone's.
But to go through this long litany of that is more of a turnoff than it is informative.
Well, for you, Robert, it is a turnoff for you. When I first read it, I found it fascinating. I found it fascinating that and of course I had already become somewhat familiar with this Upanishadic tendency to list these long, as you call it, litanies. So I wasn't, it wasn't unfamiliar to me, but I just found it fascinating. And, among the stars of night, I am the moon. That became the title of a book that was published, a collection of poetry, not of mine. I was responsible for judging a poetry contest one time for teenagers, and some really beautiful poetry was submitted. And so
when you start to name things like that, inevitably you're going to leave something out. So it creates a space for errors. Like, for example, it said, as far as the alphabet is concerned, I'm A. How about B, C, D, E, F,
Well,
I think it's just meant to show you the scope of it, the broad scope. I don't, it's not meant to be, encyclopedic.
Well, Robert, each of us is unique and has our own reaction to what we encounter in the Gita. So studying the Gita is not always going to be, not everything in the Gita is going to be congenial to every one of us. As I said, and I meant it very sincerely.
I mean, I can live with it. I mean, it's but we're having a discussion here, and I just would like to know, it just crossed my mind, why did he do it that way?
Well, I gave you my best explanation. I gave you, and Bhagavavan gave you another. I don't doubt you can live with it. You live with many things far more troubling than this. We all do. So, but it is, as I said, the Gita is known as Gita is known as the cream of the Upanishads, the cream that Sri Krishna summarized the highest knowledge from all of the Upanishads, and that's what's contained in the 700 verses. So here we have this litany, as you called it, this catalog of Sri Krishna's divine glory. And I've explained it as best I can, but that explanation is just an explanation. It's just an opinion. It's not the truth. It's just how it seems to me.
Can I make a
Okay.
comment, Brother Shankara?
Please.
Okay, for Robert's question, what here, the context is Arjuna is so confused. So that is why he's trying to clear his mind, telling him, I am the universe, of course. The divine is the universe. We all believe in, I mean, some of us believe in that. Everything is divine. So that is why he's trying to clarify his confusion, and that I am the creator of all this. He's explaining elaborately, piece by piece to his mind. That's what my perception is here.
Wonderful.
Does
Nice
it
said.
clear? Hope that clears you, I mean, answers you a little bit at least. Here it is Arjuna and Krishna. So Krishna is explaining, he's so confused. He doesn't want to do the war, go for the war when the other party is coming at you. So he's trying to do, you don't have to worry anything. I am the creator of the universe. Of course, we all believe in that, divine, with divine. Everything needs divine blessing. Everything needs divine glory. So
Well,
that I am understanding.
The only quibble I have, Haima, is when you say we all believe. We don't necessarily all believe.
Not all of us, right? You're right, Brother Shankara. Some of us, at least.
And we must remember that our opinion and our judgment and our position is not the truth, capital T, capital T.
Definitely.
It is just simply a truth.
Yeah,
It is the truth as it appears to us.
that's true.
What jumps out at me when we read this was, not only does he talk about the atom, but he also says, I am among compounds, the copulative, which it sounds to me like he's talking about the weak atomic force, which wasn't theorized until 1933. And it always interests me how we think we invented quantum mechanics and physics, but in Vedas and Buddhism and stuff, they talk about these things all the time.
Yes, that's true. Thank you, Bhagavan. Yes, that is a good insight. And yes, the copulative, that which creates seemingly out of nothing. And of course, it isn't out of nothing, but it seems to be.
Brother Shankara?
Yes, dear.
So my thought is that breaking it down like that, the litany, to use Robert's word, makes it more practical. The example I can think of is when young children are given big projects to do, particularly those who have difficulty, paying attention. And so we tell them, take this big task and break it down into smaller parts and go at it that way. Because when you look at the whole thing, it seems too difficult. And some children get overwhelmed, but then we teach them, okay, break it down into smaller steps, and then you may be able to get to it. So similarly, if we just think, oh, I'm the universe, I'm everything, it may be hard to conceptualize, but if he breaks it down to I'm the sun, I'm the moon, I'm the stars, I'm this, I'm that. It makes it more reachable. That's what I feel.
Well said. And obviously that's the reality for you as you perceive it. And that's excellent. And I like what you said about breaking it down to smaller bits so that we can take it in a bit at a time. The Gita is not meant to be read once. The Gita is meant to be read many times. And I think all of us who are fond of the Gita do that. But because every time you read it, you discover something more because you've changed. The Gita hasn't changed, you've changed, and so you perceive more than you did before. So this is a wonderful discussion. This is exactly what we should be doing, to study the art of spirituality together, to bring up these issues and to talk them out as we've been doing. Absolutely splendid.
And
Also,
Brother Shankara, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't expect you to be able to answer every question that comes out in this. I expect, to get feedback just like we did here.
Exactly.
So I don't expect you to be able to answer everything,
No, and I don't either. Believe me,
Yeah.
I do the best I can from what I know. But again, as I point out, this is just how it appears from here. This is not an illumined sage sitting here. This is just someone who's studied for a long time the practices and principles of applied or practical Vedanta, as Vivekananda calls it. So, I answer from that perspective. And so thank you, Robert. That is indeed, I don't wear that mantle of being able to answer every question definitively and clearly.
Brother Shankara,
Yes, dear.
a couple of things. One is that the reason that I find these classes appealing is the fact that you are there as the, for lack of a better word, a moderator, and who can point us in the right direction if you're making gross errors in interpretation. If it was just a bunch of us sitting and discussing, I would not feel as comfortable or drawn, but knowing that with your tremendous experience and time in this path, you can guide us better. So that's one.
Well, thank you,
the,
dear.
And the comment I wanted to make also was regarding that in the alphabet, I am A. Obviously, sometimes I don't know the Sanskrit part of this, and I don't have a book to read. So exactly what is said and how the interpretation is done. But the way I'm looking at it is when he says I'm the letter A, it doesn't mean that he's not B, C, D, but without A, there is no B. Everything follows A. So basically that he is sort of the beginning of
Yes.
everything.
And as Christ said, I don't know if it's in the canonical Gospels, but it's in one of the Gospels, I am the Alpha and the Omega. He says the exact same thing. Now, in the Greek alphabet, Alpha is the beginning and Omega is the end. So, so Sri Krishna is just saying, I am the Alpha, I am the beginning. As like you said, there is no B without A. So that's a good insight. And I like what Robert said. He doesn't expect anybody to come up with a definitive answer. The facilitator here is just exactly that, the facilitator, from some background and experience, but that's exactly what this role is. And I like what Robert said is, we get a lot of different points of view when we discuss these things, and it's very fruitful and very enjoyable. And I hope, there is sometimes I will say some things, like I said to Haima, when she said we all believe. Perhaps we don't all believe. So there's that little bit of taking issue with some definitive statement. So, anything else from anyone? Well, this has been very productive, I think. It's exactly what we should be doing. And we have another 13 minutes or so we can start the next chapter.
I really would like to, I'm sorry to interrupt. This is Maria.
Yes, please.
I realized that I like this group. I like to come here and spend time on Wednesdays because I realized that I have like three Gitas, three different Bhagavad Gitas. The one that I understand better, I think is better with you, because the another one is come from the Krishna temple, the ISKCON, and the another one is Yogananda Paramahansa is clear that they don't allow discussion. So how good is this, if you're going to study something and you are not allowed to have your opinion or saying, it's just like preaching somebody.
Well, this is exactly it, dear. Thank you, Maria. The idea that you can't discuss the fact that it's all just received truth as it is presented on the page. There's no discussion, and it's all dogma, and it leaves us, as you say, it leaves us a bit confused. How can I learn something if I can't discuss it? And so I agree. It's a very good reason for us to have these things. And Swami Vivekananda said that other point of view. He said that is fanaticism. That is insistence that only my truth is the truth, and that is fanaticism. And he spoke against it. So thank you, Maria. Anything else from anyone? All right, please read chapter 11. Read into chapter 11.
Sure. And just wanted I'm doing this from my cell phone and the battery says it's only 20%. So just in case it decides to die off all of a sudden and I can't seem to find my charger. So I hope it will last through the rest of the class.
Well, we've got another 16 minutes. If it dies, well, we'll just end the class there. There's nothing that says that this must go for an hour. It's just that's the way we've established it. So please go ahead. And,
sure. We are now on chapter 11, and that's the vision of God in his universal form. Arjuna, by your grace, you have taught me the truth about the Atman. Your words are mystic and sublime. They have dispelled my ignorance. From you, whose eyes are like the lotus flowers, I have learnt in detail of the origin and dissolution of creatures and of your own infinite glory. O Supreme Lord, You are as you describe yourself to be. I do not doubt that. Nevertheless, I long to behold your divine form. If you find me worthy of that vision, then reveal to me, O Master of Yogis, your changeless Atman. Sri Krishna. Behold, O Prince, my divine forms, hundreds upon thousands, various in kind, various in color and in shape. Behold the Adityas and the Vasus and the Rudras and the Ashwins and the Maruts. Footnote, various classes of celestial beings. Behold my wonders, O descendant of Bharata, that no man has seen before. O conqueror of sloth, this very day you shall behold the whole universe with all things animate and inert, made one within this body of mine. And whatever else you desire to see, that you shall see also. But you cannot see me thus with those human eyes. Therefore, I give you divine sight. Behold, this is my yoga power. Now Sanjaya says, then, O king, when he had spoken those words, Sri Krishna, master of all yogis, revealed to Arjuna his transcendent divine form, speaking from innumerable mouths, seeing with a myriad eyes, of many marvelous aspects, adorned with countless divine ornaments, brandishing all kinds of heavenly weapons, wearing celestial garlands and the raiment of paradise, anointed with perfumes of heavenly fragrance, full of revelations, resplendent, boundless, of ubiquitous regard. Suppose 1,000 suns should rise together into the sky. Such is the glory of the shape of infinite God. Then the son of Pandu beheld the entire universe in all its multitudinous diversity, lodged, I'm sorry, uh, in all its multitudinous diversity, lodged as one being within the body of the God of gods. Then was Arjuna, that Lord of mighty riches, overcome with wonder. His hair stood erect. He bowed low before God in adoration and clasped his hands and spoke. Arjuna says now, ah, my God, I see all gods within your body, each in his degree, the multitude of creatures. See Lord Brahma throned upon the lotus. See all the sages and the holy serpents. Universal form, I see you without limit, infinite of arms, eyes, mouths, and bellies. See and find no end, midst, or beginning. Crowned with diadems, you wield the mace and discuss, shining every way. The eyes shrink from your splendor, brilliant like the sun, like fire, blazing, boundless. You are all we know, supreme, beyond man's measure. This world's sure set plinth and refuge, never shaken, guardian of eternal law, life's sole undying, birthless, deathless, yours, the strength titanic, million armed, the sun and moon, your eyeballs, fiery faced, You blast the world to ashes. Fill the sky's four corners. Span the chasm. Sundering heaven from earth. Superb and awful is your form that makes the three worlds tremble. Superb and awful is your form that makes the three worlds tremble. Into you, the companies of devas enter with clasped hands in dread and wonder, crying peace. The rishis and siddhas sing your praise with hymns of adoration. Adityas and Rudras, Sadhyas, Vishwas, Ashwins, Maruts and Vasus, the hosts of the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, Ushmapas, and Siddhas, all of them gaze upon you in amazement. At the sight of this, your shape stupendous, full of mouths and eyes, feet, thighs, and bellies, terrible with fangs, O mighty master. All the worlds are fear struck, even as I am. When I see you, Vishnu, omnipresent, shouldering the sky in hues of rainbow, with your mouth agape and flame eyes staring, all my peace is gone. My heart is troubled. Now, with frightful tusks, your mouths are gnashing, flaring like the fires of doomsday morning. North, south, east, and west seem all confounded. Lord of the Devas, world's abode, have mercy. Dhritarashtra's offspring, many a monarch, Bhishma, Drona, and the son of Karna, there they go, with our own warriors also, hurrying into your jaws, wide fanged and hideous. See where mangled heads lie crushed between them. Swift as many rivers streaming into the ocean, rush the heroes to your fiery gullets, moth like, to meet the flame of their destruction. Headlong these plunge into you and perish. Licking with your burning tongues, devouring all the worlds, you probe the heights of heaven with intolerable beams, O Vishnu. Tell me who you are and were from the beginning. You of aspect grim, O God of gods, be gracious. Take my homage, Lord. From me, your ways are hidden. Now, Sri Krishna says, I am come as time, the waster of the peoples, ready for that hour that ripens to their ruin. All those hosts must die. Strike, stay your hand, no matter. Therefore, strike, win kingdom, wealth, and glory. Arjuna, arise, O ambidextrous bowman, seem to slay. By me, these men are slain already. You but smite the dead, the doomed devoted heroes. Jayadratha, Drona, Bhishma, Karna. Fight and have no fear. The foe is yours to conquer. Sanjaya, after Arjuna had heard these words of Lord Krishna, he folded his palms and bowed down, trembling, prostrating himself with a great fear. He addressed Krishna once more in a choking voice. Arjuna, well, it is the world delights to do you honor. At the sight of you, O master of the senses, demons scatter every way in terror, and the hosts of Siddhas bow adoring. Mightiest, how should they indeed withhold their homage? O prime cause of all, even Brahma, the beginner, deathless, world's abode, the Lord of Devas, you are what is not, what is, and what transcends them. You are first and highest in heaven, O ancient spirit. It is within you the cosmos rests in safety. You are known and knower, goal of all our striving, endless in your change. You body forth creation, Lord of fire and death, of wind and moon and waters, Father of the born, and this world's Father's Father. Hail, all hail to you, 1,000 salutations. Take our salutations, Lord, from every quarter, infinite of might and boundless in your glory. You are all that is, since everywhere we find you. Carelessly, I called you Krishna, and my comrade took undying God for friend and fellow mortal, overbold with love, unconscious of your greatness. Often I would jest, familiar, as we feasted midst the throng, or walked, or lay at rest together. Did my words offend? Forgive me, Lord Eternal, author of this world, the unmoved and the moving. You alone are fit for worship. You, the highest. Where in the three worlds shall any find your equal? Therefore I bow down, prostrate, and ask for pardon. Now forgive me, God, as friend forgives his comrade. Father forgives son, and man his dearest lover. I have seen what no man ever saw before. Deep is my delight, but still my dread is greater. Show me now your other form, O Lord, be gracious. Thousand membered, universal being, show me now the shape I knew of old, the four-armed, with your diadem and mace, the discus bearer. Footnote for four-armed. The only explanation of this passage seems to be that Arjuna is asking Sri Krishna to assume the shape of his chosen deity, Vishnu, since it cannot mean that Krishna had four arms while in his human shape. If this interpretation is correct, we may assume that God took on the four-armed shape of Vishnu for a moment before reappearing as Krishna. As has been stated elsewhere, Krishna was regarded as an incarnation of Vishnu.
Okay,
So,
let's leave it at that, dear.
okay.
It's now 29 after the hour, and we've had another long discourse on the glory and what it is that we worship when we worship God, the infinite, the eternal. So we'll take it up again there next week. We'll read those last lines and that footnote again. Any final thought or concern or question from anyone? All right. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. O dearly beloved, a flower at your feet, for each one who comes to your open door. A flower at your feet for each one who stands by your open door and says, come to me, offering to break this world's chain that binds us down to ignorance, suffering, and death. A flower at your feet for each one who takes the path that you have struck through this, your jungle world. Om Amen, Om Amen, Om Amen, Hari Om Tat Sat, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Jai Shri Guru Maharaj Ji Ki Jai, Durga, Durga, Durga. May we all be safe. May we all be healthy. May we all be cheerful. May we all have peace of mind. And may we all go forward in the secure knowledge that we are in the loving and protective embrace of the Divine Being as our Mother and Father. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai, 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 the Divine Being. So any final thought from anyone before we sign off? All right. Our next opportunity to be together, of course, will be Saturday when we discuss the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras as presented to us by Swami Prabhavananda. And then on Sunday, the talk in the chapel and on Zoom will be what is a Bhakta's prayer? What is a Bhakta's prayer? We're studying Bhakti Yoga in the month of June. So see you Saturday and Sunday if it's your sweet pleasure to join us. A great good night to you all.